Heading into week 9, we got fantasy updates, we got picks, we got storylines for you. Cue the intro. So let's check out what happened in week 8. Leading into week 9, the New England Patriots fumbled very late, Cam Newton causing a major turnover. The single turnover by the Patriots offense in the game ended up costing them the game against the in-division rival Buffalo Bills. The Bills in the driver's seat in the AFC East as a result, and the Patriots trying to figure out what they're going to do for the remainder of the season, as they didn't make a ton of moves at the trade deadline, acquiring Isaiah Ford as well as Dante Moncrief, adding him to the practice squad. So adding a couple wide receivers onto a very dire wide receiving corps for the New England Patriots, looking for any receiver help that they could possibly get. But again, the Buffalo Bills in the driver's seat in the AFC East. Looking around the AFC East as well, Tua Tagovailoa getting his first win with the Miami Dolphins, having a dominant performance against the LA Rams. But Tua, not so much, didn't even throw for 100 yards, struggled quite a bit against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey less defense. But Tua Tagovailoa getting his first W is a big accomplishment. Heading into this next week, we're going to see if he can improve upon his performance. Dalvin Cook pleased fantasy owners as well this past week against the Green Bay Packers, dominating and becoming the entire Minnesota Viking offense in a 4-touchdown, 200-yard performance against in-division rival Green Bay, helping the Minnesota Vikings capture a W over Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Parker. And then looking around the rest of the league, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers struggled quite a bit against the New York Giants defense. The Giants defense actually ended up being a bright spot for them this past week, but the offense just couldn't quite pull it out to lead it into overtime for the New York Giants. Daniel Jones not connecting on a pass to Dion Lewis. And if you zoom in and slow everything down super close, it still wasn't a pass interference call. Get over yourselves. Oh, and before I forget, the Pittsburgh Steelers have remained undefeated with a dominant defense. TJ Watt and company were all over Lamar Jackson in their Week 8 matchup in Baltimore. Fans or no fans, the Pittsburgh Steelers still caught that W. Looking ahead to this upcoming Sunday, a big matchup, New Orleans and Tampa Bay squaring off for the second time this season. Tom Brady having a little bit more chemistry in the back pocket for the Buccaneers offense this time around. Michael Thomas he could very well return this week. Who knows? No one knows because the dude's been hurt or causing fights in the practice squad. I'm a Michael Thomas fantasy owner. I'm a little frustrated, but big matchup, the New Orleans Saints, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers facing off this week. Antonio Brown joining the fray for the Buccaneers offense, so it's going to be a really exciting matchup. Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, and company going to be a dominant force potentially in this game. The Tennessee Titans looking to rebound after a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, and Joe Burrow trying to rebound against the shaky Chicago Bears. Going to be an interesting matchup to watch there. Russell Wilson versus Josh Allen, going to be a premier matchup of some really dominant offense for the Seattle Seahawks versus an interesting defense in the Buffalo Bills. The Bills trying to solidify themselves not only in the AFC East, of course, but to the rest of the league. If they can pick up a win against the Seattle Seahawks, it could be a staple for the remainder of the season and for Bills fans. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers keep the ball rolling against a terrible Dallas Cowboys team? Probably, but we gotta put it in there since they're still undefeated. And then finally, a question. Is Bill Belichick's management finally catching back up to him? Obviously, this past offseason, losing Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but is Bill Belichick's management finally catching up to him, as draft pick after these last few years, the team has started to dig themselves into a hole. 2-5. It's time to take a look at Bill Belichick's management skills moving forward. Keep that in the back of your mind throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, as a coach, Bill Belichick, phenomenal, but are the management decisions what have put the Patriots in the hole so far? Let's check out the fantasy football side of things, and week 8 just wasn't good. Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt, Nelson Aguilar having as many catches as I did on Sunday, and Rashard Higgins pretty underwhelming as well. I thought the Raiders and the Browns matchup was going to be really good. I thought it was going to be a really offensive game. It ended up not being an offensive game in the slightest. Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, like I mentioned, getting hurt. So we're just going to move on past week 8 and look forward to week 9. And heading into week 9, I've got running back J.K. Dobbins leading the way for the fantasy running backs. I think Dobbins is going to have a big game this upcoming Sunday with Mark Ingram being hurt, Gus Edwards having a little bit of a shaky performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Dobbins is going to be their go-to guy this upcoming week in Baltimore, and knowing how much of a run-heavy offense they have, I can imagine J.K. Dobbins having a big game. Pittsburgh's defense going to have a field day against the Dallas Cowboys. That offensive line is incredibly inconsistent and incredibly hurt. Look for TJ Watt and the secondary to feast on turnovers, on forced pressure turnovers, and getting after whoever the quarterback is for the Cowboys this week. And then finally, running back Matt Breida could very well be a pickup for you this fantasy Sunday. With Myles Gaskins getting hurt, Matt Breida looks like he could be the guy moving forward this upcoming week for the Miami Dolphins. With Tua having a shaky first start, I think they're going to rely a little bit more on the running game. Look for Matt Breida to be a lot more involved this week, and potentially Jordan Howard as well. Now it's time for my favorite part of the video. It's time for some picks. We got Houston at Jacksonville. I'm going to take Houston with a better roster overall, going Texans. The New York Giants versus Washington in Washington. I'm going to take Washington football team because of Ron Rivera's good coaching. Baltimore at Indianapolis. I think Baltimore's just got a better overall roster, better coaching right now. So give me the Baltimore Ravens over the former Baltimore Colts. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota is going to have an easy matchup this week because Detroit is without Matthew Stafford, put on the reserve COVID list. Minnesota Vikings all the way. Chicago at Tennessee. Tennessee coming off of a loss against the Cincinnati Bengals are going to come in a lot more focused against the shaky Chicago Bears. Give me the Titans. Carolina at Kansas City. Carolina getting back Christian McCaffrey this upcoming Sunday, but I think the Chiefs offense is still just too dominant for a lot of defenses at the NFL level to handle. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs in an offensive shootout. Seattle at Buffalo. This is going to be a fun matchup. Russell Wilson versus Josh Allen. Some interesting defenses on paper, but give me the Seattle Seahawks. Give me DK Metcalf having another big game. Denver at Atlanta. This one's basically a coin flip, but give me the Denver Broncos to eke this one out. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the LA Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to come into this matchup incredibly focused. Justin Herbert tired of having late game losses. Give me the LA Chargers. Miami at Arizona. I think a lot of the eyes are going to be on starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, but it's going to be a DeAndre Hopkins kind of game. I'm giving DeAndre Hopkins the game ball already. He's going to tear apart that Miami secondary. Pittsburgh at Dallas. This one isn't really a game at all. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one. Antonio Brown rejoining the fray at the NFL level, joining the Buccaneers offense, and Michael Thomas returning to the fray for the Saints is going to be interesting to look at, but again, Buccaneers all the way. Monday Night Football, the New England Patriots and the New York Jets in a matchup that not that many people are really going to care about at this point. Give me the New England Patriots to get an easy W. But thank you so much for watching the video. All my social medias are down in the description below. Feel free to stick around, watch some more content, like, comment, share, get the bell to know every single time I'm dropping a video. My name's Tristan Blake Rines, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Adios.